Hey there, Matthew at Mac Museum here, coming to you with a quick video to talk about recap kits that are available here at the Mac Museum store and on the online Mac Museum web store. A couple of times each open, I usually get asked what they are and what are they used for. So this video is here to provide that explanation. I put the kits together with two main objectives. The first was to provide a simple and easy solution that provided the components and guidance so that you could do a recap or capacitor replacement on your Macintosh. The other objective was to do this at an affordable price, with most of the kits available for between $10 and $15. So what are the kits used for? Well, a really simple explanation is that the kits provide the components required to replace the capacitors in your vintage Macintosh. What is a capacitor? Well, it is a small electronic component that features on many electronic devices. Unfortunately, over time, capacitors can fail. This can lead to loss of functionality or erratic behavior on a device, and it unfortunately as well can lead to physical damage occurring on the device when the capacitors leak. Leaky capacitors can also then further damage other components of a device, which can mean more substantial repair work must be undertaken. Most Macs from the late 80s to mid 90s are at some risk of leaky capacitors. For example, this Macintosh Classic Logic board I've got here has experienced leaky caps, which is starting to affect other components on the board. A Macintosh Classic's analog board or power board is also susceptible to leakage. And when we're talking about a component which deals with high voltages, this can lead to short circuits and permanent damage on other components through high voltages escaping and going to places they shouldn't. So what do you do with the kits? How do you replace the capacitors on a vintage Mac? Well, firstly, this video is not intended to serve as a tutorial for how to do it, but good news is that there are many videos on YouTube that focus on what you should undertake. It's important to remember that you are dealing with an electronic device, and this requires proper handling procedures, particularly when you are going to be dealing with components that have very high voltages involved. Proper handling such as discharging CRT or removing the charge from capacitors is very important to ensure that you don't receive a shock, which in some instances could be fatal. There are some skills that you should have, such as soldering, a steady hand and a good eye, or in my case, some assistance with the help of a microscope. What you will need to do is remove the existing capacitors off a board that you're going to be working on. Make sure you thoroughly clean the area to ensure that there is no capacitor leakage, which could affect components. And then finally, you look at installing the replacement capacitors. So this brings us to the capacitor kits. What's inside each kit? Well, of course, as you can expect, the necessary capacitors are provided in individual bags and color-coded. These are provided for a specific model, so it's important that you select the right kit that you're after. Inside each kit is also a guidance card, which provides an overview of where you need to reinstall the capacitors, including the orientation that they must be installed in to ensure that you get the positive and negative ends of a capacitor in the right spot. On the back of each card is a QR code that you can scan to get a high resolution version of the image which is on the card. How do you buy a kit? Well, you can come on down to Mac Museum and purchase one here in the Mac Museum store. Alternatively, you can jump online at macmuseum.com.au, click on the link to the store and buy your kits online too. The good news is that postage can be consolidated for multiple kits, and most kits can be sent for the price of a large letter via Australia Post. So I hope that's been helpful. Please remember though, if you have a vintage Mac, particularly those from the late 80s to mid 90s, it will likely need a recap at some point in time to ensure that it's around for the long term. Look forward to seeing you down here at Mac Museum.